Hi, second grade. We are going to go over lesson 11-2, count back to subtract on an open number line. So I'm going to go ahead and do a problem, and then we're going to do a problem together, and then you guys are going to do a problem on your own. So the first thing that you want to do in this problem is put your greater number at the top of your number line. So that number is 760. So we're going to put that number up there from our problem because our problem is 760 minus 130. And we're going to be trying to find the difference of these two numbers using our open number line. So I put 760 on our open number line. Now we're going to be counting back to subtract 130. So the first thing that we want to do looking at our place value is we want to subtract that 100 first. We're going to start over here. We're going to subtract 100. So I'm going to jump back and I'm going to write in here that we subtracted 100. And now you're going to do 760 minus 100, which makes the difference of 660. So now we're at 660. Now we're going to go, there's no other hundreds that we need to subtract because there's only 100. So now we're going to go over to our tens place, which has 3 tens. So we're going to be jumping back 3 tens. So we have 1 10, 2 tens, and 3 tens. And I'm going to label that we subtract 10 each time. Subtract 10, and subtract 10. All right, so then we're at 660 minus 10, which gives us 650. Then we're at 650 minus 10, which gives us 640. And then we're at 640 minus 10, which gives us 630. All right, now we're going to look at our ones place. So we're going to go over to our ones place to see how much we have to subtract. And we have 0. We are not subtracting anymore because it's a 0 in our ones place. So our final answer for 760 minus 130 is 630. So the difference in this problem is 630. So there's 6 hundreds, 3 tens, and 0 ones for our answer. All right, now I want you guys to do this one. So draw this one out on your paper, draw an open number line, then write this problem out. Remember, you can always pause the video if I'm going too fast or you need to write this stuff down. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we are always going to start with our greater number at the beginning of our open number line, which is 586. And our problem is, our subtraction problem is 586 minus 222. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look in our hundreds place, and we have 2 hundreds to subtract. So I'm going to subtract 100 first. So I have 100. Remember, I'm always going to label it. Then you're going to subtract another 100. So you're subtracting 2 hundreds. All right, and then we're going to write what our new number is. So 586 minus 100 would give us 486. Remember, you're not changing the 8 or the tens or the ones place. You're only subtracting 100 from the 586. And now we have 486, and you're going to subtract 100. So now you're at 386. Remember, you're not changing the tens or the ones place. You're only subtracting that 100 from the 486 to give you 386. All right. So now we just subtracted our 200s. Now we're going to go over to our tens place to see how many tens we need to subtract. And we need to subtract 2 tens. So we have 1 10, 2 tens. And remember, I'm always going to label it 10, 10. And I always put that subtraction sign to show that you are subtracting. So 386 minus 10 gives you 376. Because remember, you're subtracting 10 from the tens place. So 10 from 86 would give you 76. And then 376 minus 10 would give you 276. Or nope. Would give you 376. 366 because you're subtracting 10 from 376 would give you 366. All right, and that just did all of our tens. Now we're going to go over to our ones place. We have 2 ones to get rid of, so we have 1, 2, or subtract. So subtract 1, subtract 1. So 1 minus 3, or 366 minus 1 gives us 365, because you're just subtracting 1 from the ones place. And then 365 minus 1 equals 364. And there's no other place values that we need to subtract. So our answer for 586 minus 222 is 364. All right, last problem. We are going to move on. So I want you guys to pause this video and write this one down. Draw your open number line. Write out this problem, 948 minus 727. Write this one out. And then go ahead and press play once you have figured this out. Remember, you want to label your open number line when you're counting back to subtract. So go ahead and press play when you are ready to go over this. All right, so hopefully you guys wrote this problem down. Remember, you're always going to start with your greater number at the beginning or the larger side of your number line. So we have 948, and now we are going to start subtracting. So we are in our hundreds place right now, and we need to subtract 700. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are all, I'm putting them over all of them. These are all subtracting 100. All of these blue jumps, all subtracting 100. So 948 minus 100 gives you, I'm going to make this smaller, gives you 848, because remember you're subtracting 100 just from that hundreds place from 948. So 848 minus 100 gives you 748. 748 minus 100 gives you 648. 648 minus 100 gives you 548. 548 minus 100 gives you 448. 448 minus 100, 448 minus 100 gives you 348. And then 348 minus 100 gives you 248. So that is just subtracting our 700s that we needed to. Now we're going to go over to our tens place to see how many tens we need to subtract. And we need to subtract 2 tens. So we have 1, 2, which is 10 minus 10 minus 10. So we have 248 minus 10 gives you 238 because you are subtracting 10 from that tens place, the 4. And then you have 248 minus 10, which gives you 228. And now we're going to go over to our ones place, see how many ones we have. And we have 7 ones. Can I make this bigger? No. Okay. So we have 727. And now we need to subtract our 7 ones. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just going to extend this number line. There we go. All right. So 228 minus 7, which would be 227, 226, 225, 224, 223, 222, 221. 221. If you subtracted 228 minus 7, it would give you 221. 1, because 8 minus 7 equals 1, and you carry down those 2's. Or you could have written out all of these numbers. You could have counted all these numbers. Remember, these were subtracting of 1. You could have wrote, I could have do it down here, 227. And all of these jumps, you would write your numbers. 226, 225, 224, 223, 222, and then we have our 221 right here. So that is our difference of this equation. We have 948 minus 727 equals 221. All right, so that was counting back on an open number line. I hope that helped. Remember, you always can pause the video or make yourself more problems, subtraction problems, to help you out with this counting back to subtract on an open number line. All right, guys, I hope that helped. Bye.